When we transmit any data over the network, and mostly when it is wireless network, there is a possibility that some data may get manipulated or lost. For example, if the actual data we are transferring is, let's say, 1011, because ultimately whatever data you transfer, let's say you transfer hello, that gets converted into the corresponding ASCII character of each letter, ASCII equivalent integers, and those integers ultimately get converted to binary. So whatever is transmitted over the wire is always a binary signal with high and low voltage indicating 0 and 1 and 0 respectively. Okay, so let's say the actual message is 1011, and because of some external interference, the data that gets delivered is 1010. Okay, so now you can see there is a change in 1 bit. Now we need some mechanism to make sure that even though the data has been damaged due to the error, we should be able to firstly detect that there has been an error, there has been a manipulation or damage to our message. We should be able to detect it, and secondly, we should also be able to correct it. Okay, so for these two things that we just now mentioned, that is error detection and error correction, we tend to add some more extra bits. We add extra bits to our message. We add some extra bits to our message. Okay, and this process is called as encoding. So we have designed certain encoding systems such that our message is systematically expanded, and we include some additional bits into our message such that when we look at those additional bits, we can figure out what has been the damage to our message, whether there has been a damage, and if there are sufficient extra bits, we can also recover the original message. Okay, so that is beyond the scope of our current syllabus. Exact error recovery schemes and exact schemes to detect errors and correct the errors, but we'll only study the basics of this. And to study the basics of encoding, just realize that, for example, if your actual code is, let's say, only uh, for example 2 bits, okay, you may add 2 more bits to it and make it 4 bits. So if you don't understand what I'm writing over here, b square b raised to 4, then watch the previous video. Okay, so the original message is only 2 bits, and that we are converting into 4 bits by adding some additional bits. Now where do we add the additional bits and what is the exact scheme? That depends from one encoding scheme to another. Okay, but in general we say that we have an encoding function e, which is defined from b raised to 2 to b raised to 4. That means it takes a 2-bit message string and it converts it into a 4-bit message string or binary string. Okay, so in the next video we'll see one such scheme in detail.